So, how would I describe us here at the University of Johannesburg, our entire community of students, of staff, of executives, of council, of alumni, and of a broader community of partners and friends? I would describe us as firmly committed to serving our students, firmly committed to serving our academics to the very best of our ability. That is really what defines us, a deep sense of caring, a deep sense that we are all elevated when we elevate the weakest amongst us. And the weakest amongst us is not the one who may be disabled in current language. It may not even be the one who is economically deprived or left behind. And so if there's one thing that I believe has defined us over these 12 years, it is an absolute commitment to striving to serve to the very best of our ability. I've also learned over the years that we've had many setbacks, as much as we have had high points, many high points. We have setbacks, and one of them that comes to mind is the stampede, some 4 years ago or so on our Bunting Road campus, as thousands of students and family members sought to gain access as latecomers, late applicants into the University of Johannesburg. I remember on that occasion, or at least the day before, that the queue to gain access to the university stretched some 7 kilometers because I walked the queue and drove part of the queue as well, and couldn't understand why it is that South Africans and people across the SADC community were so desperate or so desirous to enter the University of Johannesburg. And I suspect it has a lot to do with this caring spirit. It has a lot to do with this Ubuntu spirit that defines us here at the University of Johannesburg. It's about us saying to a young person coming from deep rural KwaZulu-Natal or Mpumalanga, by way of example, that you are one of us, and when you rise, so we rise. And so we are committed to lifting, because when we're lifting you up and embrace you, so we are lifted up and embraced at the same time. And then we had the tragic event of Mrs. Gloria Sequena at the front, or near the front of the queue on this morning. And the next thing, I get the telephone call to say that we've had a tragic incident and we've had the loss of an alumnus of the University of Johannesburg in the stampede. What I've learned about UJ and its people and its culture and its tradition is that when we have such an extraordinary setback, tragic as in this instance, we embrace the family. We demonstrate our Ubuntu. We love and we demonstrate our love. At the same time, what we do is we plan our comeback. And the evidence demonstrates that we had planned our comeback from that disaster exceptionally and exceedingly well. Today we have an online application system and a late application system that is the best in the world, and that all universities are seeking to lay their hands on. And so that is a demonstration of the spirit, but also of our application, of our commitment to doing the right thing. And so when we realize that queues are inefficient and in fact lead to tragedy, we took a decision that we will no longer have queues in the university. And so this is but one illustration of how we respond at the University of Johannesburg. We respond not by going into a corner, moping and being tearful. Yes, initially we are indeed tearful, but what we do is to rise up. What we do is to pick ourselves up. As I typically say, knocked down but never knocked out. And I think that sense of resoluteness, combined with that Ubuntu caring spirit, These, in their combination, have enabled this University of Johannesburg to become South Africa's post-apartheid democracy model university, a university that strives for accessible excellence, a university that has evidenced that, as demonstrated in many global rankings, as just one indicator, but at the same time that is evidenced in the fact that almost a third of our undergraduate students, of 43,000, come from the poorest, schools serving the poorest in our nation. And it is in this manner that we're transforming our nation, transforming our region, transforming our world, by lifting up and out of poverty those who are economically weakest in our nation.